This is the Ruckus and The Menace Sports Podcast.
Oh no! We suck again!
I'm getting confused. What game are you calling?
I'm calling both games.
It is caught by Kelsey! Touchdown! Kansas City!
Anthony for three. Bang!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ruckus and The Menace Sports Podcast. I am Ruckus.
And I'm Spenace the Menace.
And on this episode, we will do our usual starting lineup, or we do our new news, and then our color commentary, and then we'll do our high heat, which is NBA primetime game, our film room, and the infamous good, bad, and ugly segment that I have coined as I cause a ruckus and do stuff, and then our stud and dud. Spenace, how have you been?
I think we were kind of going to be starting with you because there's a little bit of news that kind of comes along on my end of things. But
All right. I'll go first then. So obviously, what I was doing this weekend was being a little bit too rowdy. Let's say that.
What else is new?
Yeah, because I'm causing a ruckus. Dude, I was pissed off when I saw that Tubi ad, because it just came right out of nowhere, and of course I had a few drinks in me, so like, when I saw that it was switching, I was like, no, god dang it. Like, why you do this to me, Tubi? Why you do this? So, yeah, I was a little upset about that ad, but in general, I was upset with the Super Bowl ad, so we'll get into that later. My Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl, and today was the parade as of the recording on Wednesday. And I did not go to the parade, for those wondering. I watched it on TV like other people. I'm not the one that would like go for that kind of stuff if it meant that I had to like drive there and then get back, because let's face it, that's gonna be a mess for traffic. I've been, like I said, I watched Super Bowl. It was a nail biter to the bitter end. I've been playing Warhammer Darktide with a fellow member of the community, Salty Waters. Been also playing a little Battlefield. Been playing a lot more MLB The Show lately because I've just been on that kick for the new stuff that's happening with transactions around the league. I've been playing a lot of franchise mode on Madden 22 still. That's pretty much it for me. Spenace, go on in.
All right. So along with my other usual business that has kind of been going on, I now have started the search for the 2023 Game of the Year for Two Nerds in a Pod, as I have now picked up and have started about a few hours in already in streaming a Let's Play on my YouTube channel of Spenace the Menace of Hogwarts Legacy. So that's going to be something that is going to be notable and running through for a bit. Just kind of relaxing whenever I can. I watched Super Bowl, but just today, and I kind of missed the feature premiere yesterday, kind of explaining a lot of it, but I watched it today as well. The MLB The Show 23 tech test is on this week, ranging from today as of recording time, going all the way to the 21st of February. And Ruckus, there are some first impressions that are going to feel really good, and there's one thing that is going to frustrate you.
Well, I mean, from time to time I do get frustrated in video games, so are we talking about it now or later?
Well, what what do you want? What do you want? What do you want to know? What do you think's
First
gonna what do you
off, is the
am I
tech
going with
demo
the
on
good?
Game Pass?
No, you're gonna have to download it, but it doesn't cost anything.
Because I'm going on the Microsoft Store currently right now, and it's
Yeah,
taking its
and you
sweet
just look
ass
up
time to
MLB
load.
23 the show. MLB the show 23.
Okay.
And it
I'll let
should
that kick through. As far is that everything or
but my question is which one are you wanting to know first? The one that you're
let's
gonna
go with
think,
the
oh, this is
ugly
neat.
first. Let's go with the ugly first.
You are going to have to learn a new fielding system. And
How so?
it is a doozy. You know how there used to be that meter that would just stay in one place for throwing?
Yeah.
That meter moves now.
So like,
So for more difficult throws, you have to hold on to the button longer in order for it to be accurate.
oh, that doesn't sound too bad.
Oh,
I'm
but
sure I'll figure it out. I
oh,
play enough
oh
video
yeah,
games.
yeah. I mean, is it something that people will figure out how to do? Yes. Is it an adjustment? Absolutely. After playing 22 to try and adjust to that is this doesn't play around, like they don't play around with difficulty.
So are you saying it's gonna be kind of like NBA 2K when it comes to shooting buckets?
Oh, if you don't set yourself up right, it'll lead to errors that are outside of your norm.
So did they completely remove that meter, like to where I couldn't like just put it back to OG? Because I feel like
No,
they
it's
could, but
revamped. Like it is revamped for a reason. It is revamped for a reason.
well, I'll experiment with it and see how I feel.
Yeah. Oh, it is a learning curve. It is a learning curve, and even I right now, even I've hopped on for a little bit earlier today, and it is something that is still quite a bit to get used to.
As long as they don't
Hitting,
take my pinpoint pitching away, I am
no, that
okay.
has not been taken away. That has not been taken away.
I love that so much that
I
if they
think
took it
that
away, I would not buy
oh
MLB The Show
oh
ever again.
pinpoints here to stay. And
Yeah,
do I use it? No,
because you're a filthy
but
casual.
not necessarily.
I'm
Can
just
I
messing with
do it?
you.
Can I do it? Yeah. Do I like meter better because that's how I've always played MLB? Because I grew up really with MVP baseball?
I grew up with MLB The Show at first, and then I played MLB 2K, and I was like, oh my god, I like the pitching more in this because I just got used to it. Whereas hitting on MLB 2K is a dumpster fire compared to MLB The Show. So
Yeah.
when I heard that pinpoint was coming, I was like, let's go.
And speaking of hitting, the hit feedback is much more detailed.
Oh, so it's not just
Diamond?
perfect. It's
Oh, like you'll see everything in live real time, like in real time to your swing. Like you'll see if you went early, you went late, you're gonna miss more often. So foul balls are not gonna be as cheesy.
our bunt's gonna be very cheesy, like where if you hit a bunt in a weird way, it doesn't like pop up really high, high and insanely, or is that still
Oh,
gonna be a?
bunting is bunting is still going to do some of that. Like bunting is still going to do some of that no matter what, because it all comes down to your execution at that point when you decide to bunt. But of course, I don't expect you to do a whole lot of bunting anyway.
I do it a lot in franchise mode because I got a bunch of speed demons. Got Nick. I've been doing that a lot with Nicky Lopez, just bunting because I'll have Bobby Witt on first, and he's a speedy boy. So all I have to do is just have him steal on like really terrible pitchers or terrible catchers that can't get the ball out in time. Fun times.
Oh, and the reactions to outfly balls and stuff like that, and any sort of thing, completely revamped there. So fielding is going to matter so much more.
Did they cancel the shift?
Oh yeah. All rules except for the pickoff restriction are.
Did they make it more realistic with the Diamond Dynasty stuff, where if you to where there's
Diamond Dynasty
a DH?
Diamond Dynasty online or offline? Diamond Dynasty online or offline is competitive settings now, and universal DH.
Thank God, because that was such like a off-putting thing. Even though
and two-way players have now finally made it in.
Oh yay! So Shohei could be easy to gain experience on again. Sweet. That was such an easy way to like. He was like probably one of the easier characters to level up in last year's game. Like it was ridiculous.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So are we ready to kind of get to actual news?
Let's start off with the new news.
Did we really just lose you over trying to do the Jason Kelsey new news?
Oh, it didn't pick up the new news? The new news?
Yeah, I think it kind of like, I think you probably peaked.
Frickin' dang it.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, I think you peaked.
I screwed up. Oops. Oh well.
All right.
What else is new?
But in regular season games, the runner on second rule that is there for extra innings will continue.
Thank God.
Such as other tweaks when position players are allowed to come in and pitch, the pitch clock, including limiting pickoff attempts, larger bases, and the banning of the shift have now made it into MLB's rules as part of their tweaking for the 2023 season.
I like the bigger bases.
My team's manager, Alex Cora, is not, because they look like pizza boxes now.
Oh,
better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's is on your base paths.
Really? I don't care.
I had to throw a quotable for the episode at some point.
Is it a shakaroni pizza? I like me a shakaroni.
What shakaroni has to do with baseball?
It's Papa John's, god damn it.
I know that. Oh, but in somber news, Nationals owner Ted Lerner passed away at 97 due to complications from pneumonia. Lerner had bought the team in 2006, and though it kind of had some down years early, he was the owner during the rebuild that led to the Nationals winning the World Series. So he at least came away with a World Series for the baseball team in DC.
Hell yeah.
In college basketball, the Alabama Crimson Tide, normally known for being number one in football, this is the first time in over 20 years that the Crimson Tide have reached number one in college basketball. And in terms of NFL news, the Eagles' offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator have both been hired as head coaches. Gannon, the defensive coordinator Gannon, is going to the Cardinals, and Steichen, the offensive coordinator, is going to the Colts.
How long were those two around for the Eagles? Was it like a 1-year thing, or was it more like they've been there for like 3 or 4 years? Because it feels like they just jumped ship, but that's just me. I don't really know the Eagles coaching staff besides Nick Sirianni.
Well, Shane Steichen, the Colts coach, was only at 37. Only 37. He was, after kind of working his way up through UNLV graduate assistant program. Went to Louisville as an offensive assistant, and then went to the Chargers, Browns, back to the Chargers, and then has been with the Eagles since 2021 before taking the Colts job. And then Jonathan Gannon, the defensive coordinator, is a little older. He's 40. Came up through Louisville. Was then an assistant at Atlanta, Tennessee, Minnesota, Indianapolis. And then, yeah, they were 2021 bring-ins by Nick Sirianni.
I
But Sirianni was kind of brought in through the Chiefs, Chargers, and then was, I think, with Frank Reich before, or like the Colts before becoming an Eagle. Before becoming the Eagles coach. So there's definitely some things that were going on there with that. So they were just some short timers that Nick Sirianni had that
okay.
got coaching jobs.
Yeah, because it didn't sound like they've been like there for a long time, like Eric Bieniemy or Matt Nagy, which Matt Nagy came back. For those who are aware, and used to be the I believe the like
Bears coach.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm still talking Chiefs. Before he left to the Chiefs to be a head coach for the Bears, he was I believe, the quarterback coach.
Yeah, something like that. Probably should have been an offensive coordinator first before that, but Bieniemy had it.
I mean, you could say the same thing about Hackett.
But no, I think Hackett was the offensive court. I think you're talking Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah, I was making a joke about him with the Broncos, going from offensive coordinator to head coach.
No,
but I think he should have stayed offensive coordinator.
Yeah, but I think Nathaniel Hackett was an offensive coordinator before. Yeah, he's gone back to being a coordinator at the Jets. Yeah, but previously he was an offensive coordinator in Jacksonville, then Green Bay, and was also an offensive coordinator in Buffalo as well. So he's had some offensive coordination experience. But the noticeable trend here is that coaches that are kind of now just getting new head coaching jobs, it seems, are getting younger.
Yeah, like Mike McDaniel, for example.
But the young coach thing really kind of started with a certain Sean McVay.
True, yes.
I would say Sean McVay was kind of the first big one that really stuck it out.
The only reason I said Mike McDaniel is because he looks like a younger, nerdy type. Like my Faja would say, he looks like he would be easy to beat up, like a nerd. I don't know.
He looks like as if Logic were an NFL head coach.
He looks like if Logic never smoked weed.
And became an NFL head coach.
Yep.
All right, but now speaking of some certain players that are changing locations, our color commentary is centered around an old favorite here. The would you rather.
Oh, never mind. Go
The
ahead.
would you rather by most recent, and the addition here is most recent free agent Derek Carr. The recently released Derek Carr. And the question is, who would you rather have as your starting quarterback? Derek Carr or the following names? Derek Carr or Dak Prescott?
I'm taking the most recently acquired Walter Payton Man of the Year award winner, Dak Prescott.
I'm actually going to take Derek Carr in this.
You wouldn't take the salsa dancing hip man Dak Prescott? Come on now.
Oh, I am actually going to take Derek Carr because I think if you give Derek Carr the right weapons, Carr will actually know how to hit him. Jalen Hurts.
Hurts.
Yeah, I'm taking Jalen Hurts. Russell Wilson.
Since I'm an AFC West douchebag, I'm gonna say they both suck, but I'm gonna say Derek Carr because
Yeah, I
he
think that
he
one.
can at least cook.
I'm going Derek Carr as well. Jared Goff.
Goff.
Though I think Carr is the overall better player, I think Goff is in the better situation right now. Daniel Jones.
I mean, Derek Carr can at least play the part. Daniel Jones is just kind of there. I'm gonna say Derek Carr.
I'm taking Derek Carr as well. Derek Carr, Kyler Murray.
Um, let's say this. Cliff Kingsbury's a very shitty coach. I feel like if Kyler Murray proves that he can play with his head coach and actually do wonders for his team, other than doing victory royales or getting Warzone victories, I think Kyler Murray's definitely a better quarterback than Derek Carr. The man can run.
I'm going with Derek Carr because I'm sorry, by quarterback height standards, Kyler Murray in terms of that is a midget.
I mean,
He is a
did you
he
see
is a
that first
midget.
game? Did you see that first game of the year against the Chiefs? Whenever there was like probably a couple Chiefs defenders in the middle, and it looked like on camera on the side view that like he was swallowed up by the defense, but it turned out that little man can find that little hole and actually get through it. Like the man's got speed whenever he's healthy.
Should have taken the baseball money.
Eh.
I don't think the NFL. I really don't think the NFL was the right money for Kyler Murray.
I mean, he wasn't gonna get it with
Deshaun
Oakland
Watson.
A's, but anyways.
Deshaun Watson or Derek Carr?
Um, as crappy as this may sound, I'm gonna take Deshaun Watson, not for his and his off the field stuff, but the way he just plays.
I think I'm going to take Derek Carr. Geno Smith.
Geno.
Derek Carr. Geno is going to come back down to earth. Derek Carr, I think, if the situation's right, he's going to soar. And last but not least, Kirk Thuggins.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I think I would take Cousins as well in this.
Do we want to
this
place a
aspect
quick
as well.
bet and say that next season, around the midway point, if Derek Carr is still in the same limbo he was even as a Raider, do we want to like kind of do like a long-term bet on that, like to see like if I'm right, then I'm right. If you're wrong,
What are you
then
thinking,
I'm...
that Derek Carr is not going to get signed by anybody?
No, I'm saying like as far as his performance with the new team, not like where he gets signed. I still think he's kind of I still think he's kind of bad, to be honest.
I think
But
Derek Carr, if given the right situation, I think Derek Carr can thrive. If you give him the right situation with a coach that knows he can get him to buy in, Derek Carr is going to be good. And I think the hard part about trying to find that situation for Derek Carr to thrive in is really figure out who's going to be best at trying to protect him.
he
Teams
also
that I see really kind of making a play for Derek Carr: Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay will try and make a play for him. New Orleans is definitely making a play for him.
didn't he like
Turn down the no trade, turn down the Saints in a trade, rather wanting to be a free agent. But that doesn't mean that he said no to going there. Just kind of wants like money to be a little bit more on his terms. But now that we've kind of gotten out of the NFL, we can now move to the high heat, and we kind of talked about some off-season moving. Now we're going to talk about some during the season moving in the NBA. And the NBA trade deadline. And to me, I think there were really three major deals that kind of symbolized what this trade deadline was about.
That's for sure. Do you want me to go for it on the biggest deals?
Rally them off.
All right, so for our biggest deals in the NBA trade deadline, we have Kyrie to Dallas, Kevin Durant to the Phoenix Suns, and then a three-team trade involving D'Angelo Russell, Mike Conley, and Russell Westbrook for our biggest deals. Do we have opinions yet, or do you want me to keep naming off the other categories?
Oh, we can kind of keep going with that. The underrated deal that I kind of noticed: Devontae Graham to the Spurs. There's a couple of others that
Rock Chalk.
Jayhawk.
KU.
All right. But which deal do you think caused the biggest fireworks out of all of the trades in this deadline window?
Not gonna lie, the KD to Kevin Durant to Phoenix Suns trade is a good one. I hope it pans out well for the Suns. Let me rephrase that. I hope they do better than what their situation was before, because they still have DeAndre Ayton, correct? Or did he?
They went through all of that. They made that deal without losing DeAndre Ayton, I believe.
So you still got the big man from the Caribbean. You got now have KD, which is another big man that is very hard to guard. You got
Chris
Devin
Paul
Booker
and Devin Booker.
You got Chris Paul and Devin Booker as well. Correct. And I think with that duo, it'll be a more even way of doing things. Hopefully KD stays healthy. Hopefully Ayton and company stays healthy. I know Booker was going through some injury problems late in the season last year, right? Or was it early this year? I couldn't remember.
100% sure.
But anyways, go ahead, Spenace.
But I think that the KD move was kind of saying it's like, oh, Kevin Durant's coming when the main project has already been done. And the Phoenix Suns already made the finals without KD. My biggest question mark with that deal is, what does KD truly add to this team? But my deal that's likely going to cause the most fireworks is actually the D'Angelo Russell, Mike Conley, and Russell Westbrook deal. As Russ could likely be bought out. The deal to get Mike Conley is good. And the deal to get D'Angelo Russell, I think, was good for LA as well. So I think there were a lot of winners in this. But I definitely feel like the team that kind of got the short end of the stick on it was Utah. So my question to you here is, Ruckus, who would you say are the three biggest winners of the trade deadline?
I'm gonna say the Phoenix Suns, Kevin Durant, and the Houston Rockets.
Honestly, for me, the big losers, being able to gel for the Dallas Mavericks, how to survive a fire sale from the Brooklyn Nets, how to do absolutely nothing in the trade deadline and still try to force some sort of win total into a spot where you have to be productive. And that, to me, is the Chicago Bulls written all over it. And then the Miami Heat for kind of not doing a lot to not enough. So, yes, I am taking the great value of those two particular things in my winners and losers. And this episode is kind of running a little bit more on an NBA brand. As previously in our prime time game, Ruckus and I did Super Bowl grid trivia, and they both ended up coming out perfectly.
Hopefully it's not Big Baller Brand.
Never lost. But that'd be like LeVar Ball. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's kind of what I was going with, but yeah.
But today's primetime game is a Pick Your Poison draft based on resumes that are given blindly. And it will be 2 resumes per position. Ruckus and I will each select which player we would choose out of players who made NBA All-Star appearances. And we will have all 5 positions available. So, the first one. Which position are you wanting to go for, Ruckus?
Okay, so the one I want to go for first is point guard.
All right, point guard. Here are your options. Point guard A 10-time All-Star and a Naismith Hall of Famer, and was also a member of the 75th anniversary team. This point guard was also a 9-time assist champ and a 2-time steals champ. He has a career average of a double-double in points and assists, and was a member of the all-defensive team in the NBA 5 times. Will you take that or point guard B? Point guard B is also a Naismith Hall of Famer and an all 75th anniversary team member. And was also an 8-time All-Star. Player B was a 5-time assist champ, a 2-time MVP, and has a career 3-point shooting percentage of 42%. So, Ruckus, will you be taking point guard A or B?
A sounds a lot better.
Okay, Ruckus, you have chosen John Stockton as your point guard.
Not bad. Who was the other one?
The one you did not pick, Steve Nash.
Oh. Oh well.
Yep, you chose John Stockton over Steve Nash. I also will be looking at a point guard.
All right. So, player A. This man is a 6-time All-Star, NBA All-Star, I should say. 4-time All-NBA, 4-time NBA champion, 2006 Finals MVP, and a 2001 All-Rookie.
Okay.
And then player B, 8 all-time All-Star, 2-time MVP, 7-time All-NBA, and a NBA 75th anniversary team player.
Okay.
Do you want me to repeat player A?
I think I'm going with player B.
You know what's funny about that? That's Steve Nash.
That is Steve Nash. Okay. And who was the player that I passed on?
Tony Parker.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, he's kind of like one of those under the radar kind of guys. It seems, at least in my opinion. I haven't heard of that name in a long time being mentioned.
Oh, Tony Parker being a solid Spur too.
Yeah, when he was actually healthy.
Yeah, that is true. All right. So, which position are you wanting next?
Let's go with the center.
The center.
Yep.
Okay. Center A. A Naismith Hall of Famer, an All 75th anniversary member, and a 10-time All-Star. Center A has a quadruple double in his career. Center A was also a Defensive Player of the Year, a Rookie of the Year, and an MVP in his career. He also has a scoring championship, a rebounding championship, and a blocks championship. But all three of those were done in different seasons, and he is a 2-time NBA champion.
So player A or B?
Player B. Player B is a Naismith Hall of Famer, a 15-time All-Star, and an NBA All-75 member, a 4-time NBA champion, a 2-time scoring champ, a Rookie of the Year, an MVP, a 3-time All-Star MVP, and a 3-time Finals MVP. Center A also has a Defensive Player of the Year, a Rookie of the Year, and an MVP in his career.
Let's still player B.
But the con about Center B, averaged 23.7 points per game in his career, but was a 52.7% free throw shooter.
I'm still going player B.
Okay. Center B is Shaquille O'Neal.
I knew once you said he was bad at free throw shooting, I was like, that's Shaq. See, now I'm getting my Shaq-a-roni. My Shaq-a-roni.
But I probably would have taken the player you passed on. The player you passed on was the Admiral. David Robinson.
But does the Admiral have a Shakaroni? I didn't think so. Nope.
Sorry, but I would rather have a quadruple double. Yes, David Robinson does have a quadruple double in his career. He had a game in. He's one of 4 players in NBA history to post a quadruple double, and he did this on February 17th, 1994, this week in 1994 with a 34-point, 10 rebound, 10 assist, and 10 block performance.
All right, what do you want now for your position?
I'm gonna round out my backcourt. I'm gonna go with the shooting guard.
All right. Player A, 3-time NBA All-Star. In his career he averaged 17.1 points per game and a 44.9% field goal percentage. That was pretty much all I had for player A. It was kind of lousy, to be honest. Player B,
Okay.
5-time NBA All-Star, NBA Finals MVP, 3-time All-NBA, 2-time All-Defensive.
Repeat the first one a little bit. You said
For player A,
yep.
3-time NBA All-Star, 17.1 points per game average, and a 45% field goal percentage from the rack from 3.
Give me player B.
All right. Player B was the mastermind of the Detroit Pistons, and that was Chauncey Billups. Player A was Richard Hamilton, also known as Rip Hamilton.
I'm shocked you gave Chauncey Billups as a shooting guard because with Rip Hamilton there, Billups was playing point. Billups was running point. But I think you'll probably question one of my choices as well for something here a little later. But
All right.
You have left the shooting guard, the small forward, and the power forward.
Let's go shooting guard.
Okay. Shooting guard A, Naismith Hall of Famer, NBA All 75 team, an 11-time All Star, a 4-time scoring champ, and a 3-time steals champ, a Rookie of the Year winner, a 1-time MVP, and had a career point average of 26.7 points per game. Shooting guard B, a Naismith Hall of Famer and an All 75th team member as well, a 10-time All-Star, a 2-time NBA champion, an all-rookie team selection, and had a career average of 18.9 points per game and was also a career 40% three-point shooter. Which player are you taking?
Player B.
You said player B?
Rectamundo, por favor.
Player B is Ray Allen.
Woo! Yeah! It was the player A.
Player A was Allen Iverson. Huh. Funny enough that I went with Allen as shooting guards.
Yeah, what the shit?
That actually is pretty funny.
So we did kind of bamboozle each other a little bit there.
Yeah, I think I would have rather. Well, yeah, because I now have 2 point guards. I kind of need. Yeah, give me the center.
All right, player A, 8-time NBA All-Star, 5-time All-NBA. I didn't have any other significant stats, so I'm going to not give away the third stat, which isn't really a stat. It's more just a clue. Um, player B, Amar. Um,
Did you really just say that one of them is
no, no,
Amari Stoudemire?
sure. Do you want
But
me to still
keep
name
go-
it off, or
oh no, keep going.
uh, they are not Amari Stoudemire. 6-time NBA All-Star, 5-time All-NBA, an All-Rookie, and a Rookie of the Year. I feel like either way, you might like either or, to be honest with you.
Give me center B.
All right, Amari Stoudemire. So it was probably a good decision because player A, for my nickname, or for his nickname, I put known as the Great Wall, which was Yao Ming.
Oh, and again, Amari Stoudemire is not a center. Not naturally a center. So this kind of sucks.
Well, you
Oh
have a guy
wow.
that can dunk that hasn't won a championship, and I have a guy that can't shoot a damn free throw to save his life. So,
Well, but your your player in the low post is 3 inches taller and has him outweighed by at least 60 pounds. So you've either we're both down to our forward spots.
all right, I'm gonna go with power forward.
Okay. Ooh, this one's gonna be a fun one for you as well. You have a Naismith Hall of Famer, an NBA 75th anniversary team member, and a 15-time All-Star. A two-time MVP and was also the rookie of the year in his draft class. Has won both a Finals MVP and an All-Star MVP at a certain point in his career. A 15-time All-Defensive Team member, but never won a Defensive Player of the Year. Power forward B, a future Hall of Famer and a 14-time All-Star and an NBA All 75th anniversary team member. Power forward B has won a 3-point shootout, was a finals MVP and a league MVP, and has a career points per game average of 20.7 points.
I think I know where this is headed.
Do you know them both, though?
I'm gonna go with power forward B.
Power forward B is Dirk Nowitzki.
Yes, sir. Who was player A?
You passed on the other half of the Twin Towers for the San Antonio Spurs of the late 90s.
Yeah,
The big fundamental, Tim Duncan.
he was good at rebounding and whatnot, and hitting the square on the goal. But yeah.
You passed on Tim Duncan. And you said the other player I passed on was Yao Ming.
Yep.
Okay. I'll take my small forward.
All right. Player A, 7-time All-Star NBA, 6-time NBA champ, 7-time All-NBA, 10-time All-Defensive, and he is on the 75th anniversary team.
Oh, you have
Player B, 7-time All-Star, 2-time scoring champ, 7-time All-NBA, and 2000 Most Improved Player.
I'm going to assume that player A is
All
Scottie
right.
Pippen.
Yep.
Player A is Scottie Pippen. Now, player B. Player B is the fun one to try and figure out. I think I'm going to go with player A, and that is Scottie Pippen.
Correct. So the player that you missed out on was Tracy McGrady.
Okay. All right. So, which your last player you have is a small forward.
Okay.
Okay. You have a Naismith Hall of Famer and a 7-time All-Star, a 2-time scoring champ, a most improved player in his career 19.6 points per game, and a 74.6% free throw shooter. Or are you going to take an 8-time All-Star, a slam dunk champ, a Rookie of the Year winner, had a career points per game of 16.7 with a free throw percentage of 79.8?
Repeat player B, or not player B, player A.
Naismith Hall of Famer, 7-time All-Star, 2-time scoring champ, was a most improved player at one point in his career, had a career points per game average of 19.6, and was a 74.6% career free throw shooter.
Let's go with player B. I think I know who it is.
Player B is Vince Carter.
Yeah. I got a stacked lineup.
Oh, but here's the funny thing about the player that you just passed on.
Overrated. Clap, 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 clap. Overrated. Clap,
You
clap,
got
clap,
3
clap, clap.
guesses, and the first 2 don't count as far as who you just passed on.
Okay.
You passed on Tracy McGrady.
Overrated. All right, you ready for your power forward?
No, but the fact that we both also picked Tracy McGrady. We both picked Tracy McGrady for making our boards. That's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm ready for my power forward.
All right. Player A is a 15-time NBA All-Star, 15-time All-NBA, 15-time All-Defensive, 3-time Finals MVP, 2-time MVP, and a member of the 75th anniversary team.
Did you really just pick another player that I put down as well?
I don't know what you're talking about, because here's player B, 15-time All-Star, 9-time All-NBA, 12-time All-Defensive, 1-time NBA Finals champion, and an All-Rookie.
Okay. I'm calling it right now that the 2 players you have me choosing between are Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett. Player A is Tim Duncan, player B is Kevin Garnett, which means I'm taking player A.
Boo. Boo.
What, did I get it perfectly right?
You're no fun.
No, the problem is that we picked the same player for power forward, and one of the players in the pair were exactly the same for small forward and power forward. Your team ended up a little bit more stacked because I gave you better player. I gave you better players, but you also passed up on Allen Iverson.
Did I though?
Yes, you did.
I don't know what you're talking about. I got Ray Allen. I think Ray Allen is a way better upgrade. over AI. I mean, ChatGPT is pretty good, but I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think the only thing that kind of hurts my team is having Amari Stoudemire, but that's beside the point. But what we have going on here is that last week with our Super Bowl predictions, I went 5-3, while Ruckus went 4-4, just in spite of getting the correct prediction for the actual game itself. I win the NFL Pick'em by 9 games. And a lot of that was more so because of just kind of some luck out. And also a doubling of the Super Bowl MVP, which we both got right. But this is the NBA All-Star Weekend Challenge. And the first one for you is the Celebrity Game.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up which one. So it's Team Ryan versus Team Dwayne. For those wondering, God dang it, I don't want all these stupid ads. Team Ryan is the Utah Jazz governor and honorary captain for Team Ryan. Team Dwayne is Dwayne Wade. Pretty self-explanatory.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Team Dwayne since you're going Team Ryan.
Yes. All right. So, just so everyone is aware here, Team Ryan has Ryan Smith, of course, Kane Brown, Corday, Diamond DeShields, Megatron, Marcos Mion, The Miz, Albert Pujols, Everett Osborne, Ozuna, Guillermo, and Cinco Walls. While Team Dwayne has Dwayne Wade, Nicky Jam, Jesser from Two Hype, Simu Liu,
DK
Hassan Minaj,
Metcalf.
DK Metcalf, Janelle Monáe, Arike Ogunbowale from the Dallas Wings, Ranveer Singh, the NBA brand ambassador for India, 21 Savage, Francis Tiafo, and Alex Toussaint.
Dude, if they had 21 Savage and Quavo on the same team, it would be overpowered.
I think the difference for Team Ryan is probably going to be one of the following people: Corday, Kane Brown, or Diamond DeShields.
Alright, where's the Rising Stars?
Okay.
Oh, I see it. FAQ.
So the Jordan Rising Stars Challenge. You have Team Darren with Jalen Green, AJ Griffin, Bones Highland, Walker Kessler, Trey Murphy, Alperen Sengun, and Franz Wagner. Team Joachim with Jalen Duren, Josh Giddey, Quentin Grimes, Evan Mobley, Jabari Smith Jr., Jeremy Shohan, and Jalen Williams. Team Pal with Jose Alvarado, Paulo Banquero, Scotty Barnes, Jaden Ivey, Benedict Matherin, Keegan Murray, and Andrew Nemhard. And then Team Jason, which is G Leaguers, Sidi Sissoko, Scoot Henderson, Mojave King, Kenneth Lofton Jr., Mac McClung, Leonard Miller, and Scottie Pippen Jr.
let's see here. Do 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 do. Oh, it's Jason Terry. I was like, who the hell is Team Jason? Um,
Basically, Team Jet.
I'm gonna go with Joaquin Noah. So Team Noah. I got it.
I'm taking Pau Gasol because there's something about this man and knowing how to draft. Okay. We would do the HBCU Classic, but that might be too many things to try and figure out. We have, and we are not doing the G League Next Up game, but for All-Star Saturday night, we will be starting with the Skills Challenge. And there are 3 teams.
Team Under
You have the Antetokounmpos, the Jazz, and the Rooks. The Antetokounmpos, you know exactly the 3
Yes.
of Giannis, Thanasis, and Alex. For the Jazz, it is Jordan Clarkson, Walker Kessler, and Colin Sexton. And for the rookies, it is Jabari Smith Jr., Jaden Ivey, and Paulo Banchero.
So is it pretty much like they're all kind of seeing overall who is the best and then getting points based off of that? So like I'm guessing they would do for example Giannis first and then Walker Kessler second and then Jaden Ivey third and then kind of like take whoever hasn't gone from each team, or is it different?
Okay, so round 1 is a team relay. Fastest time wins. Round 2, team passing. Team with the most total points from passing wins. And then round 3 is team shooting.
Okay.
So it's another shooting chat. So pretty much another shooting thing. After round 3, the team that has earned the most challenge points will be the champion. In the event that 2 teams are tied with 200 after round 3, those teams will compete in a challenge points tiebreaker, which is a half-court shot. Which is the half-court shot race down.
Yep.
Okay. So we have the next one, or the teams are the Antetokounmpos, the Jazz, and the Rookies. Who are you taking?
I'm gonna go with the Antetokounmpos, so I'm just gonna put Ant for short because I ain't spelling their names.
I'm taking the Rookies. I'm taking the Rookies.
And then next we had the Starry three-point
contest. 3-point contest.
So the contestants conclude Tyrese Halliburton of the Indiana Pacers, Tyler Hero from the Miami Heat, also a song by God dang it, never mind. We're gonna move on. Buddy Hield from the Indiana Pacers, Kevin Herter from the Sacramento Kings, Damian Lillard,
Damian Lillard from the Portland Trailblazers.
I was trying to get his nickname, but yeah. Laurie Markkanen from the Utah Jazz, Anfernee Simmons
from the Trailblazers,
and then Jason Tatum from the Celtics.
Though I think this field is good, this field is not stacked. Stacked field for this would have been like Devin Booker, Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry. But who are the two? And we're gonna take two here. Who are the two that you think have the best chance of winning?
Tatum and Buddy Hield.
I think I too am looking at Buddy Hield. I think I'm looking at Buddy Hield as well. But I think I'm going with either Hield or I think I'm going with Hield as well. And I think I'm gonna go with Kevin Herter. I'm gonna look at Herter as an option.
An honorable mention for me would be Tyler Hero as well, but
I think for me, my honorable
two.
mention in this case would probably have been Tyrese Halliburton. And then the slam dunk contest. You have Kenyon Martin Jr., Mac McClung, Trey Murphy III, and Jericho Sims.
I'm going to go with Mac McClung.
I think I'm going with Mac McClung as well.
Because I don't know anything about this guy, but it sounds good enough to me.
All right. And last but not least, we have the NBA All-Star Game. All right. I need to see the draft results. Okay. So the Eastern
So Eastern Conference starters are...
Hold up. The All-Star Draft is actually going to take place directly before the All-Star Game. So they are not... So the only two that are going to matter are either Giannis or LeBron. So basically, are we taking? Are you going Team Giannis or Team LeBron?
I'm going with LeBron James. LeBron James. LeBron James.
I am taking Giannis. I'm going with Team Giannis.
Well, Giannis. No, I'm just kidding. Bad joke.
Yep. And now that we've kind of wrapped up everything with the All-Star Game, we now are going to go to the main event, the Eastwood segment, and notably that we've kind of left out one notable event from last week that we normally would have talked about, but we kind of wanted this to really, really matter. And that is the Super Bowl. And the good, the bad, and the ugly that came from this past Sunday.
Whoa.
Take it away, Ruckus.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't know why it cuts out on Discord, but it comes out perfectly on OBS. So I'm going to trust that the listeners didn't just have their eardrums blasted.
That is true.
The good, bad, and ugly. Whoa, whoa,
All right.
whoa. All right, there we go.
All right. So, what were some of the good things from the Super Bowl?
All right,
and we know obviously that Ruckus would say the Chiefs winning.
Not only that, but kicker coming in clutch with the game-winning field goal. But what's good in sports this week was Super Bowl 57 champs, Kansas City Chiefs, was a very quality game. It wasn't like your either boring game where each team was like neck and neck from the long end of it, and it wasn't one of those games where it was a huge blowout. And the Chiefs were down by 10 points, mind you, at halftime. And they were giving pretty much all they could. They were doing pretty much all they could do for Patrick Mahomes when it came to his ankle. And he did a hell of a that was a hell of a game. No matter who won, who lost, that was fun. That was fun to watch. It wasn't boring like the I believe it was Super Bowl 53 with the Rams and the Patriots. That was a pretty dull game all around because both defenses were good, both offenses were good, but they both matched up pretty well. But in this one, it was neck and neck for the most part.
Okay. The Rams Patriots game was boring to some because there was no scoring. But for those that love defense, that game was a masterclass of how great NFL defense is done. Simple as that. I mean, there was obviously the good of Mahomes adding to his cabinet full of accolades and accomplishments.
That cabinet's about to be full soon.
As if it wasn't already.
Yeah, he's got 2 Super Bowl MVPs, 2 Super Bowl championships, 2 NFL MVPs, and could have had Walter Payton if it wasn't snatched by Dak, but that's okay. He also did another accolade where he is the second player in NFL history to win both the Super Bowl MVP and an NFL MVP, joining Kurt Warner. And I am very proud of him for that. Good on you, Patrick Mahomes II. Patrick LaVon Mahomes II, I should say. And then the future state of the quarterback in the NFL is very good in sports. And then your homie for the national anthem, I'll let you take ahead with this.
Chris Stapleton did a great job with the national anthem performance on Super Bowl Sunday.
And also, quick shout out to Rihanna shining bright like a diamond on the halftime show while being prego and not like the spaghetti sauce, like just pregnant.
Like actually expecting and carrying a child. So you could tell that a lot of things were scaled back because of that.
Also, she did a really good job even without having like a secondary or like a feature act with her. I mean, I don't remember there being a feature act with her.
Rihanna has always been good to kind of have things as a little bit of a standalone. But did Dr. Dre really need all of the secondary acts? No. They kind of went along with it well because they all collaborated under the Dr. Dre umbrella.
Well, also they were also in Compton, which was like pretty much like one of the main birthplaces of hip hop.
Yeah. So it kind of mattered.
Really felt. Yeah. I really did like her like little snippets of what she did. She didn't do Monster by Eminem, but I didn't really care because it is what it is. But yeah, she did well with how she like added or did different songs and like transitioned between one to the other to the next. It wasn't that bad of a halftime show, but it wasn't like the best.
Yeah, but I think some of that ended up going along with Rihanna being pregnant and not being able to do as much moving around like she normally does.
Yep.
But that's a neither here nor there type of thing.
And then the bad in sports this week.
The dumbest thing that we've ever seen that we actually rescinded from our film room. The kick of destiny.
That was so stupid.
Stupid.
I literally
Absolutely
thought in my mind
stupid.
that man was gonna kick a frickin' field goal, like IRL, and not through a frickin' pre-recorded thing.
And then they go
I'm.
and the kick is up and the kick is no good. Like they were trying to get out of it anyway.
I
But they
mean,
got
10
out
million
of
was
it.
on the line, for the love of God.
Yeah. But then they went and got out of it. Like they still dropped it anyway, but they still kind of got out of it because they basically hooked it into, like, he hooked it. Or they forced him to hook it.
Yeah, and then there
The
was a
field goal
DraftKings. Go ahead.
the field goal actually looked good.
Well, regardless, it was a stupid ad. I did not see that coming, but what I also didn't see coming was, speaking of like sports betting, DraftKings had their own commercial about the battle between Miller Lite and
Of
Coors,
course.
and what ended up not mattering because it wasn't a Tide ad, but another company interrupted that special message to bring you some breaking news as Blue Moon it was actually a Blue Moon ad, not a Tide ad. Sorry, David
That
Arbor.
actually that actually was pretty creative too.
Yeah,
I mean,
I thought that was interesting.
like the Tubi ads were created, the Pringles were created or were creative.
Frickin'
So
Tubi.
commercials really lacked a lot of major standouts this year. But I think the really bad in sport is that the ending of the Super Bowl was very, very anticlimactic.
I'm gonna have to. Well, I'll praise someone for later on, but yeah, the turf. I didn't even. To be honest with you, I didn't notice much with
Oh,
the
well, we'll get to
turf.
the field later. Oh, we'll get to the field later because that's coming up.
Okay.
But the ending of that Super Bowl was just absolutely anticlimactic with that hold. The holding penalty was definitely very anticlimactic. To kind of kill any sort of buzz that and any sort of momentum that could have been there. And the downright ugly, we'll go straight to it. The slip and slide that was known as the Super Bowl turf. And no, that super slide did not have it, or that slip and slide did not have any water on it.
I
Another joke.
honestly didn't know. I didn't. I don't have any other jokes for that. Sorry. The slipping. I mean, they could have put some Crisco on there or something, or maybe they could have had the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation thing where he greases up his sled and then like kind of does like a Back to the Future animation where like a fire trail is like behind him while he's going like a mile a minute. But like I don't know, the turf. I did. In all honesty, I didn't notice a damn thing about the turf until someone mentioned it, and even then, I was kind of like, eh. Like I was more so, in my opinion, or in my not my opinion. My view of the field, I was just looking at individual players. I wasn't really paying attention to how the players were like moving. I was more so just trying to see if I could analyze what was about to happen, rather than being like, oh well, someone looked like they were slipping. Like, I was not paying that close, but I was more so just trying to check see which players were out there and maybe seeing what their thought process was as far as the play call, rather than the trench footing and whatnot. Both O lines
Yeah.
did a really damn good job.
But that's also because the defense couldn't really keep their feet underneath of them. And linebackers, receivers, DBs were all slipping at different points of the field. And they had to spend like so much time after the halftime show like rebuilding the field enough that the players could play on it again. But
Yeah, I need to look back at that turf, but yeah, still. Anyways,
But there were two other things that were downright ugly this week. The first one comes with this. I caught it from Richard Sherman saying that the officiating in the NFL has skewed too much toward the offense.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When it comes to officiating in any sport, it's very hard to get everything right and also call the actual plays. It's easy for us to see it on the field versus actually having like a certain angle on the field and whatnot. Even coaches don't have all angles, but yet they could still complain to the rest that they didn't see it. Yes, they might be very old and uh, not have as good of reaction times as they once did. Um, but I mean, at the end of the day, they're still trying to do their job, but it's not looking very good in the process.
No, but my thinking is that there's too many things that favor the offense. I mean, obviously, false starts and holding push everybody back. Holding on the defensive side is a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down. Just about any sort of defensive penalty is likely an automatic first down.
So, what would you rather see?
I'd rather see deep pass interference penalties get a certain distance cap. Really the field's gotta be better for the Super Bowl. But ultimately just more things that the defense can really favor themselves in to kind of challenge the offense a little bit. That's the important part. But the second and final thing that was remaining in the ugly, the NFL's interpretation of a catch. It got murky, it got messy because the Devontae Smith thing very well could have been a catch. The Dallas Goedert catch, sick, but it definitely had its moments of challenge.
He didn't have full control the whole time was the problem.
For Goddard or for Smith?
For Goddard. And Smith, I think he got like a. Are we talking on the Smith one? Or wait, no. Goddard was before the half, right? Like literally like a minute in before the half was.
No, that one might have been the Smith catch.
Because I couldn't remember if it was the Smith or the Goddard catch. Because I remember
the Goddard catch was in the Goddard catch was in the third quarter, and they say he actually just got that second foot down.
He didn't have full control, in my opinion. But the Devontae Smith one definitely was then the one before the half. Which, fun fact, I think wasn't there a flag on that play too?
I don't know if there was a flag on that play, but
because I remember in Super Bowl 54 with the Chiefs, before the halftime started, the opposing team to the Chiefs did not score before the half, and they were down by, I believe, 10 or so, or more than that, maybe. And won, and in this Super Bowl 57 game, the Eagles did not score before the half, and we were down by 10 and won at in the second half. It's crazy how that all comes around.
Yep. But now that we've kind of wrapped up our good, bad, and ugly, we now have pretty much mostly because of how we decided to set up our studs and duds of the week are from the Super Bowl. My stud was Jalen Hurts for his MVP-like performance in the Super Bowl. And then yours, I very highly question.
So, my stud for this week is Jerick McKinnon, because here's the deal. In the situation where you don't want to give the opposing team enough time to score and go for two, instead of scoring on your own with a minute 40 left in the game with a touchdown, giving them time, Jerick McKinnon slides like 2 yards from the actual end zone to force the Eagles to take their last timeout, which in return let us kill more time so that we could get that game-winning field goal and only give the Eagles about, I think, was it like 14 seconds or something like that?
Yeah,
At the
but
end.
I think really what honestly, I don't even think Jerick McKinnon. Like, I am very shocked that Jerick
I'm
McKinnon
saying
tried to.
I'm saying he's a stud because he, instead of uh he took one for the team rather than being selfish and getting a touchdown and not thinking about like the strategy behind it.
But is just to me, I think that is a little sign of like they're just trying to like they were trying to flex on it and not give the Chiefs any sort of real play on it. But the problem is
they
that
let
if
him.
Jerick
They
McKinnon,
tried to let him score.
yeah, the Eagles did need to let them score to try and get the clock back on, like the clock back in their favor. And I just don't like the practice of it, because if you have an opportunity to score, just go ahead and score. The defense is trying to let you have it anyway so that they can get the ball back, but they have to drive the ball all the way down the field.
But you don't want to risk them trying to go for two and winning the game because of it. That's the whole point of why they did that.
Yeah, but I also feel that the defense that the Bears had been or no, not the Bears, the Chiefs had been playing at that particular moment and the momentum, they could have had that lead, stop Jalen Hurts in 4 plays, and been okay.
Anyways, my honorable mention also for the stud is the Chiefs O-line for no sacks given, and Nick Bolton with his fumble recovery for a touchdown against
Say
Jalen
that
Hurts.
O line with no sacks. Like, the hard part with that is that offensive line played like complete and total doo doo. The defensive line was pretty much solid for that, just because the field conditions were super sloppy. And then what are you putting for your dud here?
So my dud is AJ Brown's response to Juju Smith-Schuster on Twitter after Juju sent or put out a tweet on Valentine's Day yesterday about how James Bradbury was holding him on that controversial play that didn't get called for holding. I mean, AJ Brown was more humble about it. He was saying like, congrats on your win, but like you got you're lucky to be in this position or whatever. But I don't know. It was more just trash talk. But really, in all honesty, the dud is Juju for putting that postcard up as a joke and trolling.
Yeah. My dud actually came before the game even started. And that is Eagles fans for booing Dak Prescott as he won the Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Dude, Carl Shevers was getting booed too, and I was cracking up because I was like, yeah, he deserves it.
Yeah, because I think that hold was a little ill timed for when that should have been called. That that L that coffee probably should have gone up to the kitchen, or not to the kitchen, to the, well, it should have gone up to at least like somebody there. And the Eagles fans, it's like they booed Prescott more so because he was a Cowboy than because of just anything to do with his honor. And
Yeah, I thought it was kind of surprising that he got it because I was thinking it was probably gonna be either Patrick Mahomes or someone else that did more of an impact on their community because I don't even know what the hell Dak Prescott did. Patrick Mahomes is just a humble guy that does a lot of good for the community, but I I don't know.
yeah, but I think that'll definitely do it for us.
All
And
right.
Ruckus, go ahead and take us out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the Ruckus and The Menace Sports Podcast. Please share this with your friends. Like the video. If you would like to make a video suggestion, leave a comment. Don't be shy. As far as everything else, this football season was a lot of fun, and
Yeah.
even though the Eagles lost, it was still a very good, amazing game. I'm happy that the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Congrats to the Hunt family on their third Super Bowl for the city of Kansas City. Congrats to Andy Reid for his second Super Bowl victory as a head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. And congrats to Patrick Mahomes. And um, as far as um, future things coming up, uh, I do we I guess all I'm gonna say is we have about a month till the about a month and some change
Till
more till
1 year,
our one
till the
year
1 year
anniversary.
anniversary,
And
to
I
the
am
one
very
year anniversary.
and I'm
And
very thankful to have I'm very thankful in general to have this opportunity to do uh, a little bit of uh, something that I really want to do as a hobby and maybe more so as a career in like talking sports, like in a form of like a broadcast show or if it's like something on ESPN. I love somewhat debating sports. I also love just talking about transactions where like players go and stuff like that. And I'm very thankful that me and Spenace get together every Wednesday night to record.
yep, and we definitely are. It's definitely exciting. It's definitely exciting that we're gonna have this kind of coming up now that football season is done. We'll have a little bit more basketball. We'll be preparing for baseball, and Ruckus and I will have the major um, Wheel of Fortune or Misfortune, or we should say the Wheel of Fortune Diamond Dynasty Draft coming soon. Coming soon to you guys. We also will have some other major events. The 1 year anniversary show, also known as the Spenace is Getting Married episode, because that will be done 3 days before my wedding. So there's that, and not sure really what other big details we have other than that we've got some fun we got some fun things coming up, and some segments that could be, and some old segments that could be making a return, primarily in the form of the Wayback Machine might be making its presence back in, along with some other fun trivia and other segments just as topics come out.
All right. Yeah. Anyways, this has been the Ruckus and the Menace Sports Podcast. I am Ruckus.
And I'm Spenace the Menace.
We'll catch y'all later. Please share the videos and comment and like. Have a good one.
Deuces.